I'm real excited about our next guest here because it's not often that you get to find people in the world of sports who are innovative and really doing some special things when it comes to sports talk and covering the favorite teams. But this is pretty special because Tracy Sandler, she's the founder and the CEO of Fangirl Sports Network, better known as FGSN.com. Make sure you guys check it out. She joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. And Tracy, thanks for taking a couple of minutes out and speaking with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so Trace, help us understand, for those that don't know what Fangirl Sports Network is, kind of give us just a brief overview of what you guys do.
So Fangirl Sports Network is a network of women who cover right now the NFL and the NBA. And there is a fangirl for every team. And the whole idea is that we have fangirls covering on the team level, but we are creating original content with a female-focused lens. As you probably know, over 45% of NFL fans are women. And when I started this, I did not really feel like there was content geared towards women. So we have created a slate of content to embrace the feminine side and the sports side, because the two can go hand in hand. I think in the past there's been an idea it's one or the other, but clearly that is changing. So that is what we do at Fangirl Sports Network.
How did you get involved originally? Like, how was your love of sports? And I'm going to guess you probably grew up liking the 49ers.
I did. I grew up a 49er fan. I was a big Joe Montana fan, and so I became a 49er fan very young. So I started, originally Fangirl Sports Network just started as 49ers Fangirl, and I would cover the 49ers and do the content every week, and we grew from there. And that was in 2015. 2016, we added Rams Fangirl and became Fangirl Sports Network. Then last year had the AFC and NFC West, and now we have all 32 teams.
Tracy Sandler joining us. She is the founder and CEO of Fangirl Sports Network. Make sure you guys check this out at 49ers Fangirl. That is her Twitter page. You can see exactly the cool stuff that's going on there. And Tracy, let's face it, I mean, the sports world, unfortunately, it's a predominantly male industry. It's male run. It's just, and even for most of us males, it gets nauseating after a while. So how have you found, what are some of the, what are some of the obstacles you've had to you've had to overcome trying to get this thing off the ground?
Well, I've been very lucky, and I don't know if it's just kind of the timing of when I started this, but I've been very lucky. I found a lot of support. The 49ers have been fantastic to work with. I'm credentialed by them now, so I am a beat writer for FGSN covering the 49ers. And so they're a great organization because they're, I think, a very progressive organization, and they embrace, all media, which I think is, fantastic. So that's been great to work with them. The people on the beat are great and super supportive. So I've been very lucky that I have not found too many, I haven't had too many negative stories. I've had people say to me, men obviously say to me,
of course,
so female-focused content, you talk about the players that are cute? And that's obviously not what we do. And it's unbelievable to me in 2018 that someone would actually say that to me, but they have. But that's just more annoying and ignorant than anything else. But I've been pretty lucky. And most people I talk to do get it. Most people I talk to are like, yeah, this makes sense. I get it. I understand what you're doing. It's important what you're doing. It's needed in the sports world. So I've been very lucky in that way, I have to say.
And for all of the fights and the arguments that I have heard, Tracy, from my friends and from people that I know, the battles that they have with their significant others, their girlfriends, their wives, about you spend too much time watching football, you spend too much time, chasing, getting aggravated, watching this, wearing your jerseys. This is actually an opportunity for, it's not that women don't like sports or don't like the NFL. It's just they've never had a reason to feel like they're included. Is that fair to say?
But it's actually, women do like the NFL. 45% of NFL fans are women. So women actually do very much like the NFL. So I think that, and I think that's something that a lot of people maybe don't know, but that is a huge number of NFL fans to be women. So I think women do like the NFL. I think there hasn't necessarily been content geared towards women. So we do on a weekly basis. On Monday, we have our halftime lifestyle report. And in that halftime lifestyle report, we may do a new cocktail recipe for your tailgate. We've done a mimosa bar. We've done nail art. We have a bunch of that kind of stuff, DIY stuff coming up in the coming weeks. On Tuesday, we have a segment called Fangirl Says Fail, in which we kind of poke fun at player fashion or things the players have done. People can send us videos and photos of them on game day, not at their finest, that we'll use in Fangirl Says Fail. And then we'll have our podcast that night, Fangirl Talk, where one of the other fangirls, Steph McCarroll, who's our Jaguars fangirl, and I talk about, the week in the NFL and then preview the upcoming week. The other day we had Maria Taylor from ESPN on, which was fantastic. And so she talked a lot about her journey. On Thursday, we do Fangirl Playbook, which breaks down rules, plays. This week we're doing it just launched a few minutes ago. This week it's the teams in the NFL who fly the most, who has the most frequent flyer, which teams have the most travel for the season. So Fangirl Playbook has also been really popular because men will say to me, I do know what a direct snap is, but I don't know that I could have explained it that way. I do understand the rule change, but I don't know that I could have gone into that kind of detail and explained the rule change. So that's been a great one. And then Friday is Tracy's Top 5, and it's top 5 things you need to know going into that weekend, or coaches of all time, tough stadiums to play in. And then Wednesday we put it all together in a longer form show. So I say that so that I can kind of explain a little bit what I mean by female-focused content. Because there are a lot of women who do like the NFL. And in the NBA, 30% of NBA fans are women, 30% of MLB fans. Actually, I think it's now 32%, or 30%, and then 32% are NHL fans are women. So women do really like sports. There just hasn't necessarily been a place for them content-wise. But I have also had women say to me, I never did think I liked sports, and then I found Fangirl Sports Network, and all of a sudden it made sense to me, and I got it, and it was fun, and all of a sudden I enjoyed it, and I looked forward to the content, and I understood what was going on. And so that is obviously amazing as well. That's what we want to provide. So I think there's, there are two sides to it, but I think the NFL really lends itself because there's also a social and family aspect to the NFL. It's fun to get together with your friends and watch a game, to tailgate, to have a watch party, to have a Super Bowl party, to go to a sports bar and watch a game, to theme your party around that week's game. That is a fun thing to do. And I think that's something that really appeals to women a lot.
Yes, and again, it's not just, appealing to women, but it's appealing to men. It's appealing to everybody. The content is amazing. It's spot on. It makes you think because it might not necessarily be a point of view that you would think about. And as sports fans, we're always looking to be challenged intellectually that way, going, yeah, I never thought of it. And you've kind of nailed that right on the head there. Tracy Sandler joining us, Fangirl Sports Network, FGSN.com. You guys got to check it out. And I've got to ask you, 49ers girl, got to ask you, no Jimmy Garoppolo, CJ Beathard. It hasn't exactly gone as scripted or as hoped for this team this year, but your defense is still spot on. And I kind of like CJ Beathard, and I kind of like your team in this situation Monday night against the Green Bay Packers.
That it's going to be a tough game at Lambeau. But, yeah, the Packers have been struggling as well. And something I've been saying a lot is, the 49ers were a rebuilding team a year ago that everyone felt it was going to be a good 2 to 3 years before they were really competing. The Jimmy Garoppolo trade happened, and all of a sudden they were a little bit more of a building team. But there are still holes on this team. There are still things that need to be cleaned up quite a bit. The defense had a much better day the other day, but a few weeks ago, we're leading the league in missed tackles, and we're having, a lot of problem just all around on the defense, a lot of missed assignments, there's a lot of injuries. So I say to 49ers fans, be patient, but I don't have any problem with CJ Beathard, and I don't know that the last 2 weeks of losses are really on CJ Beathard. He has made mistakes, but so has the rest of the team. So, and football is very much a team sport. So I think Monday night, if they could pull off a win in Green Bay, I think it would be game-changing for the season. This is not a team that's going to go to the playoffs, but this is a team that needs to put together some wins and start hitting on all cylinders. They have games where the offense plays well and the defense does not, or they have games where the defense plays well and the offense does not. They got to start putting together games where everybody's playing well, because even, with or without, even if they had Jimmy this season, there are other issues going on the team that could be preventing them from winning. So I think in the interim, a lot of this stuff they have to start hitting on, and potentially against a struggling Packers team is the place to do it. It'll be certainly a tough atmosphere Monday night in Lambeau Field. And they still have Aaron Rodgers. But I think there are things that are positive about the 49ers right now. I don't think that C.J. Beathard is necessarily the problem, the reason they're losing. But no, things have not gone as planned. They lost Jet McKinnon a week before the season started. They lost, obviously, Garoppolo in week 3. So, it changes the face of that offense dramatically. And they're battling injuries all over the place. Marquise Goodwin was out last week. Matt Breida has been battling injuries. So they're battling injuries all over the place. So I think for 49ers fans, what you want to look at is, are they improving? Are things starting to come together? And I think that's what they want to see. And I think the 49ers are going to need to start, in games having both sides of the ball playing well, because it's great when one side plays well, but it's not going to win any football games if both sides aren't playing well.
Yeah, no.
So we'll see. If Monday night they can do that against this Packers team.
That's very well said too. Because listen, you need all three facets of the game to be able to win. And with the injury bug that has plagued the 49ers, I give them credit that defense still shows up and keeps you in games. And really, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for is, going into the fourth quarter, do we have a chance to win this game? And hats off to the defense and what they've been able to do thus far. But I got to ask you, Tracy, you're a University of Michigan grad, are you not?
I am. I sure am. Go
So Wisconsin this weekend is the time running out on?
And I'm a Dodgers fan.
Oh no, and a Dodgers fan. So you got a lot going on.
The entire weekend is Wisconsin. This whole week, my entire weekend is around the state of Wisconsin. But sorry, go ahead. What were you saying about Harbaugh?
I'm thinking about, a lot of people, is the time running out on the Jim Harbaugh experiment here in Michigan? If he doesn't beat Wisconsin this weekend, if we're looking at another year where it's just another bowl game, which has never been acceptable at Michigan, how much more time are we giving Harbaugh here?
I would say this, in my opinion, this is a very important season for Jim Harbaugh. This weekend's game is a very important game. It seems they've been playing well the last few weeks, but they have not been playing great teams. So, this is going to be a test for them. And then after that, they have Michigan State. So they got a big couple weeks coming up. But I do think this is an important season for Jim Harbaugh. He may have a little bit more leeway at Michigan because of his history there, but I think there is a likelihood that if this season does not turn out to be a strong one, then this could be his last in Ann Arbor. But I say that with the caveat that because it's Jim Harbaugh and because of his history with the Michigan Wolverines, he may have a little bit more leeway there than he would maybe have somewhere else.
Yeah, and there's always Ohio State. So, if there's always that rivalry, too, which unfortunately hasn't gone all that well for Jim Harbaugh at this particular point. But
no,
that game can certainly extend a contract here or there. Tracy Sandler, Fangirl Sports Network. Dodgers in 5, is that what we're looking at?
Let's go with Dodgers in 5. Why not?
Okay, good.
Actually, it's funny. I'm a Braves and a Dodgers fan, so it was a tough week for me last week, but now I'm all Dodgers, so let's go with Dodgers in 5. I like that idea.
Dodgers in 5 it is. All right, Tracy Sandler, founder, CEO, Fangirl Sports Network, FGSN.com. Make sure that you guys check it out. Spread the word. Follow her on Twitter, too, at 49ers Fangirl. Tracy, I thank you so much for taking some time and joining us here today. Best of luck to you. Go Dodgers. Go Michigan. Go 49ers. Enjoy the season. Look forward to doing this again.
Thank you so much. And one thing I just want to say for anybody, any of your teams, it's just at Team FGSN if you're looking for your Fangirl. So check her out. She's live every Sunday and previewing and doing post games, so make sure to check that out.
Love it. All right, Tracy Sandler at Fangirl Sports Network, FGSN.com. Tracy, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.